If you are a fan of World of Warcraft or Blizzard games in general, unfortunately, we received some bad news today from inside of the company and what is going on. As most people are well aware of, Blizzard Entertainment is no stranger to bad news, controversy, or just problems occurring behind closed doors. The company has really been struggling internally and externally, especially in the PR department, ever since it got all of its lawsuits filed against them due to having a internal frat boy culture, apparently. Just a lot of harassment and discrimination against female employees. A lot of people left the company because of this. There were walkouts at Blizzard, you name it. And on top of a bunch of lackluster games and releases during that time, Blizzard has really struggled with its image. And unfortunately, those problems still continue even to this day. But before I talk about what those problems are, real fast, I want to give a quick shout out to Zygor, this channel's sponsor. If you're a WoW player that loves classic Dragonflight, doesn't matter. Zygor is the ultimate guide for leveling, achievements, mount collecting, gold making, you name it. Check it out via the link in the description below. And if you decide to upgrade from the free version one day, use code NIXIUM for 20% off. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to the channel's sponsor, but let's dive into the recent news and the recent malarkey surrounding Blizzard, shall we? So several news outlets that follow gaming culture, gaming companies are beginning to report that Blizzard is having a big problem as of recently with losing employees. Now, they certainly lost a lot of employees in the past, but they're really struggling with the problem again. And it has to do primarily with the company's remote working policy that's driving a lot of people away. If you don't know what I'm talking about, earlier in the year, Activision Blizzard implemented a policy that made it mandatory for its employees to work in office at least 3 days a week. And maybe it's because of the whole coronavirus epidemic, or maybe just work culture has shifted over the years, but a lot of people kind of got comfortable, I think, with just working from home rather than having to go into some big, dumb, boring office to just grind away in a cubicle. And so this new policy, this idea of forcing its employees to come in 3 days a week, for some people, it's become a little bit too much. The main person that we're gathering this information from is World of Warcraft's game producer Adam Galaxgrov, who claims that despite Blizzard's best efforts, they've been losing employees left and right lately. In fact, he has gone as far to say that Blizzard is losing amazing talent because somebody in power is not listening to the game directors who make the products. He also added that Blizzard can't make better games like Dragonflight and so on if they end up losing everybody who's making these games and working on them. Internally, Blizzard is struggling to the point that they're creating crisis maps of when they cannot ship out their products, even creating plans in advance, if I'm understanding things correctly, for when people ultimately hand in their notice and quit. Allison Steele, a senior game director for World of Warcraft, says that the whole forced to return to office stuff, it has cost Blizzard amazing people and will continue to cost them more in the coming months. Even going as far to say that this whole forced policy that Blizzard is implementing on their employees is ultimately a terrible, short-sighted, self-destructive policy that is only weakening their ability to deliver the kind of games that they want to make and what the players deserve. But don't assume that this is just a World of Warcraft thing. It certainly has affected WoW a lot, but it's even leaking over into other games like the Call of Duty series. This is a little bit odd, I admit, because lately Blizzard has been pumping out more content. Now, from what we can read, apparently Blizzard is claiming that they've had a higher retention rate behind closed doors, meaning that more people are coming into employment with Blizzard and sticking around and not just immediately leaving. But there seems to be a contradicting bit of information here. On one hand, spokespeople from Blizzard are saying everything's fine. But then you've got game directors and producers saying, nah, dude, we're losing employees. This sucks. Now, I'm not here to throw any opinions out there about remote work or in-office work, whatever. I'll let you guys talk about that in the comment section down below, what you think is good and most productive for a business. But I will say that for us who play Blizzard video games, whether it's World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, it doesn't matter. Although, yeah, Blizzard has been pumping out a lot of content lately, and a lot of that content has been pretty good, to be fair. The 4 beta was received relatively well. Dragonflight has been received well, so on and so forth. Hearing this information is very concerning for the future of the company. My friends and I, when we were talking about this earlier today, the comment that seemed to come up frequently was the concern that maybe this little sudden surge of decent content from Blizzard is just going to be a short-lived thing. Maybe we're not going to see an expansion after Dragonflight that is going to hold up compared to how Dragonflight has done. Hopefully we don't get another Shadowlands, because goodness gracious, I don't think WoW will survive that. Diablo 4, Hearthstone, Call of Duty, whatever. If Blizzard is losing employees because they're making bad policy decisions in regards to how they deal with their employees, all of these games that we know and love could potentially be in danger. It is my hope, however, that this is going to be just a giant nothing burger, that maybe some people are leaving the company right now. Some people are fed up with the fact that they can't just do 100% work from home. They leave the company and maybe, just maybe, everything will return to normal. But I don't know, work culture has changed a lot ever since the corona pandemic. Whereas before, maybe before the whole corona epidemic happened, people looked at the idea of remote work, just working from home, as being a luxury and something to be enjoyed in small doses, most of the work being, of course, in the studio, in the cubicle. Now, for many people, to my understanding, as limited as it is, this has kind of become the norm. But either way, unfortunately, we are here again. We are here again being worried about the future of Blizzard Entertainment. This time, thankfully, we're not having to deal with drama of harassment and abuse happening within the company. We unfortunately have to see the news articles saying that Blizzard Entertainment is struggling a little bit. Maybe not so much on our end in terms of the consumers, but internally with their employees, something is going wrong and something clearly needs to change. Now guys, I don't know what the work culture is like way out in California, but hopefully the company can reach some sort of policy that pleases everybody. The employees that like to go into the office, they like to be surrounded by their fellow co-workers, talking at the coffee machine, but also those people that like to do remote work, just work from home. Maybe they're a little introverted, they don't want to see people, they just want to hang out with their family. I mean, for myself, I hold the opinion that, I mean, as long as you get the job done, I mean, work from home, work in the office, just make sure you get the stuff done. My only concern would, of course, be communication, but as long as there is active communication between the person working at home and his team leader or something working in the office, I don't really see what the big deal is. I don't know why this whole 3-day thing is in place, but maybe there's some sort of productivity thing, argument that could be made about having people in the office versus at home. I don't know. Maybe someone in the comment section can educate us. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this is just going to blow over and Blizzard is able to refresh their stock of talent and everything continues good and grand and dandy with our favorite games, but I guess we'll find out.